We had a little bit of a hiccup there for a second. Got to reset everything, make sure everybody was fine. Everybody was inside the lobby, no worries. So moving back into everything that's going on now, as it looks like we are set. We got everything up in the air, and we're going to be moving into the game. Miramar. So, all right. I'm not going to be too picky this time. Godspeed. Circles have been nice so far, so the circle can go wherever it wants. I'm not going to.
Yeah, hopefully it goes somewhere like last game. Or the game before. Today, I mean, the circles haven't been crazy today, but they've been interesting for sure.
They've been good. That's the thing.
Yeah, and this plane path is, I mean, it's a plane path. It's very, very vanilla, straight down the middle for the most part. Most teams going to get to go to where they want to go. Northeast is kind of cut off, but yeah, it's not a big deal. Going to see the same usual suspects drop where they want to drop. I don't imagine we'd see a Trog stretching into Chuma again to try to take a vehicle from Fumba, as it didn't work out for them last time, but you never know.
Sometimes you do see teams just go, okay, we know what we did wrong there, so let's just reset and try to do it this way instead. And
I mean, that's what you have to do, though. You absolutely have to reset, especially in this game. I can tell you from experience that if you don't reset, especially after a tough game, you're really going to go into the next game with energy that you don't want, and that can snowball in a negative way. So the reset, the mental reset, is very important. You just brush off that last game. If it wasn't the greatest one, whatever. Just make sure you don't make the same mistakes again.
Yeah, and we are seeing, again, that continued cluster down to the southeast. We got Dignitas, Young Kings over there, Synergy, Fumba, just all kind of... They all got their areas that they could play from, getting the resources that they need, given the plane path. Again, wouldn't be surprised if we see a Southern Circle, and that's what we're going to get. You could find yourself just driving through a gauntlet of teams that are just set up. So coming in a little bit slower and steadily. Adapt now getting a little bit more run speed. Looks like they're going to be committing into where a regrouping Soniqs is now placing up at.
Okay,
Adapt's
go.
Coming into this one, and they look like they might be just going ahead and saying, all right, we have an opportunity. Jumps in. Light show comes around off of it. Molotov. Ready for it, though.
Wow.
God, Adapt just got destroyed.
Yeah, you went to get started, you know, to start to ramp up, and they were dead. They were dead. God.
I mean, they jumped into, like, Soniqs knew. They just dropped the Molotov right on that window. I had an exact idea what was going on. Oath doing some work on the other side of it. They where SSG is coming in from that, finding too much success on that angle as well. They're just trying to send it at this stage.
Yeah,
they
they're going
to
for the
pass by
same
TSM, managed to get by Fumba, and here comes the goal, rolling through. Pippa's trying to get a firing line onto it, gets a little bit of damage, but it is just a straight roll into where we can see Synergy playing. It's a quick exchange between both teams. Now a little bit of a reset coming into play. Can he manage to connect onto it? They're willing to sacrifice their own players to take this down. Extreme on fire! Extreme! Synergy manages to hold it, but the harassing line now coming up from Soniqs on a different angle. Now Pippa, the last one surviving in this position.
Yeah, and the other, Alir and Fisher were just not ready for that crash. I mean, that came so fast. One of them got red over, and now it's just up to Pippa, and he's not even getting the opportunity to res. As Fumba now recognizes this dip is not free, but free for them.
It's free enough. There's a smoke that's coming in, and vehicles just rolling into it. Pippa's going to go down, get spotted out, but hey! Trade out one problem for another one. Sure, you're in the center, but Sonic still got a little bit of vision on what's going on. To the south, we're starting to get a little bit more messy as we go. We do have Young Kings trying to hold out position on Systematicos. We do have last member for Troglodytes playing off over here, as well as having a little bit of a breakdown on what's going on with EU United as SSG is trying to hold up on this point. They've been harassed for quite a while. They have the angle and the bounce onto it. Goes off on a different point. Doesn't matter. Connects onto it. SSG feeling pretty good. Don't even need the M24.
I think it's the second team SSG have defended against in this dip, so very nicely played from them. Dig now putting some aggression onto Wildcard here on the northeast side of the circle. Nades coming out.
I mean, this is Wildcard playing off in a position that Dignitas really wants gone. And
yes, that's
good
exactly
play coming out from T-Side.
It's a good point to make. Dignitas want Wildcard gone and vice versa, because whoever wins this fight can really start to wrap on that north side, which does give you a protective hill to kind of work with against TSM FTX. So they want to get rid of each other so they can start utilizing that position there to the north. The problem is,
here's this. Look, they're starting to stretch out that direction.
Yes, and I love that from TSM, recognizing that the team that can take this fight can potentially wrap around them.
Well, we also have Black Tiger on the other angle saying, okay, sure, you took out Dignitas, but we still have a couple of shots we can put your direction as well. Wildcard going to have to make a move through and really in between Black Tiger and TSM. And this is a much more, I guess, aggressive Black Tiger that's realizing the opportunities in front of them, and I like to see it.
And like I said, this ridge here is pretty much all Oath have to play at this point, at least in this circle. They are going to have to somewhat contend with Young Kings, especially because Young Kings, if you notice, are actually all looking towards Oath in the position that they're playing. And TSM has started to flex out, which is which is good. They need to do this. They need to take control, and that's exactly what they're doing. And look at this circle now, that center position that we saw Fumba take from Synergy is now very comfortably in the circle with Soniqs also just chilling there on the west side.
TSM just raining in the nades as they go. Just Purdy, just Alo over here, feeling pretty comfortable with it. Purdy finally getting a little bit of damage coming back to him. Do note the other members of TSM providing some cover. Molotov's going to land and make it a little bit more complicated. Flux realizing the fact that he's going to have to deal with something on both sides is now Oath looking into TSM's direction.
Nice
that was a little bit
shot,
unexpected. Snakers gets the drop onto one of the members for TSM, and that might give Young Kings a little bit of time to reset.
And that indeed was something that Young Kings needed. They are going to get this res picked up for TSM FTX, but Oath still really needs to figure out what their next play is. It might be a crash on a Fumba, which is what Space Station Gaming is trying to do right now. They know they have to be ready for a fight, and not a chance. I mean,
Wildcard, though, rolls back up while that distraction was going on with SSG, drops into the point and finds themselves a way to get a play off of this. We're going to see a very weakened Fumba who was kind of reacting to what was going on. Emmy being the last one up. Good read on what's coming up for Wildcard and realize the fact that they can play into this. Emmy, now the last one up, just got himself a little bit of a hill to play, and Molotov's landing all around him. Do have to be careful, though. Wildcard doesn't have an idea on where all the positionings are going to be coming up from. Has to shift out. Does manage to get a little bit of a spray, and now gets control of the dip that everybody seems to want right now.
I'm curious if Soniqs are just sitting there cracking cold ones watching the chaos in that dip. I mean, they don't even have to do anything. They're just like, oh, look, guys, another team. Oh, yeah, come check this out. Come check this out. Well, that would be great if they actually jock for position to take out gas cans, because then TSM would have this entire region of the circle to play.
But I think I think that was the plan, but Oath just got a firing line onto them, has stalled it out. Purdy's kind of on his own island. Penta's already down, starting to make a commitment inside of vehicles, but already have first tires right now, just trying to make it into the safe zone. Luke 12 goes down on a different firing angle that comes through there. He's going to go ahead and get flushed out by gas cans, and now it was TSM that was wanting to get that point, and Purdy, that's a dip that a lot of action is going down on. Spots out T-Stock. He has himself a little bit of a tree to play. He's going to go down. A-load now the last one
This is actually huge. This is massive for Oath. Oath can now start to utilize that position and move forward a little bit. That bought Oath a lot of potential real estate here.
We just have to be the moving factor ourselves and see what we can get out of it. Commitment does look like the fact that they're breaking off into two different angles. One going the TSM side, the other one going dip side is going to make it a little bit more problematic because Gascans has vision on everything. Sitting right back by Maji. Going to get a little bit more space. Reload does manage to spot it out, and there we go. Wildcard goes down. A new contender for the dip is going to be found, and it's going to be Oath. TSM, though, have a little bit of a problem, as with that, now Gascans confirm.
And look at this driving
into TSM's
This is
position.
perfect. This is perfect from Soniqs. They needed to drive because crossing that on foot would have been a death trap, but they're also using the fight between Gascans, Oath, as well as TSM to move uncontested, and because of that, I think Soniqs actually is going to take complete control of the circle now.
This is what you talk about. Always moving whenever there's a counter move going on, being aware of what's happening, realizing the fact that you have an opportunity in front of you. Penta looks like he's trying to set up for potentially just throw it out and see if he can connect onto anything as it goes. Soniqs now starting to get a little bit more aggressive into Gascan's positioning, and they're realizing the fact that they're having too many problems. Soniqs does have a harassing line that they can play up right now, but instead going to pace it out. That is going to be TSM going down. Oath on one side of Gascans, and it's going to be Soniqs on the other, as Gascans is right along the edge of the zone.
And that's exactly what they should be doing.
With this commitment coming out from Gascans, it's just allowing Oath to just do whatever they want. They know they have the capabilities. I think this is also Gascans realize the fact that they need to get a play out of this. Reload's going to catch on fire, walk out into the open. Snakers, it's potential coming out, but there is not a lot that he can do.
The issue, though, is that Gascans had circle, and they kind of pulled
Snakers!
off. Oh, Snakers!
Picks up one, picks up two. Now looking back in, he's only got one next to him. Does get spotted out. Adam manages to get him, but guess what, Adam? You got a lot of Soniqs in front of you, and you've got very minimal areas you can move. You aren't even inside the safe zone yet, so now starting to reposition for that one. Mime's got the angle on one side, H1 on a different one. Tickleton's holding down. Good read on where everybody's going to be happening. It's going to be throwables now coming out from Soniqs. Which way do you look at him? Because there is a Sonic behind every single angle looking into this one. Get some damage on H1, but there you go. Soniqs never going to go a week without a chicken dinner.
I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours.